Okay, group number 1. Remember how we just read the story, Little Turtle in the Changing Sea? And in the story, we read about Turtle's journey across the ocean and how her home changed. Who could tell me how Turtle's home changed? That's right, there was trash in it that Turtle didn't recognize. And what are some of the items here shown in the picture that changed Turtle's home that she didn't recognize? That's right, some of the plastic bottles and bags, because those don't belong in the ocean. Those don't belong in Turtle's home. Very good job. So for today's center activity, as a group, we're going to be creating a new story similar to Little Turtle in the Changing Sea. And we're going to be using some new words that we learn to put in our story that relate to saving the ocean and keeping plastic away from Turtle and her friends. So the fun part about creating this story is that you all are going to be choosing new vocabulary words out of this bucket of ping pong balls to use in your story. Doesn't that sound like fun? All right, so every member of the group is going to be receiving this handout. And this handout has all of the steps outlined for this activity that you need to complete. And let's go over them together right now. So step number 1 is to read the passages, note from the author, glossary of terms, the 3 R's, plastic problem, how does garbage get into the ocean, and the great garbage patch. All of those reading passages are displayed for you on this handout, but you're also going to be getting a copy of the story, and all of these reading passages are found at the end of the story. So you're all going to read those together. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is you're going to lay out all of your definition cards in front of all group members so each group member can read them and take a turn choosing a ping pong word from the bucket. For every ping pong word chosen, each player must choose a matching definition card. Use the details from the text to help you. Each player chooses a ping pong word from the bucket until none remain. So what that means is that you are going to be given a stack of these definition cards. I want you to lay them out face up so you can read the definitions so everyone in your group can see. Then you're going to take turns passing around the ping pong ball bucket. Each player picks 1 ping pong ball per turn. You're going to take your ball, read the word out loud for everyone to read and see, and then choose a word, a definition from your definition cards that matches. And you're going to find all of those clues here in the text. So you're going to look back and see, what's the definition for the word biodegradable? It's right here. When something is biodegradable, it means that when it's thrown away, it breaks down into something already found in nature. So you're going to look for that card, all right? So once you've done that, you're going to think of some new creative sentences to use your words in. And you're going to write those sentences down right here. So each player is going to get a different word. My word's biodegradable. I'm going to think about how could I use that word in a sentence that's new and creative. Not the same sentence that they used in the story, but maybe I would say an apple is biodegradable. That's a good sentence I could use. So I'm going to write that down right there. Step number 4 is, as a group, you're going to combine your sentences to create a new story, similar to the story Little Turtle in the Changing Sea. I want you to be creative and write your story on this large poster board. So you're going to have to work together as a group to combine all of your awesome sentences into one big story here. And I want you to be nice and neat and use correct grammar, punctuation, and capitalization, because I'm going to display this on the wall for everyone to read. I want it to be beautiful. So step number 5 is to create illustrations to match your story, similar to the ones in the book, Little Turtle in the Changing Sea. I want you to use your crayons, pencils, and markers to create vivid illustrations. Draw objects that you mentioned in your sentences, such as coral, landfill, and microplastics. So what do I mean by vivid illustrations? That means I want them colorful and big goes right along here on the edge. And I want your illustrations to match what you're saying in your story. So you could even use some of the illustrations as inspiration from the book. Maybe you're talking about biodegradable. Maybe you're talking about microplastics. Read your definition and make sure, is a microplastic something that's found in the story here? So, that is going to be what you're doing today. Does anyone have any questions? So, I have this literacy center set for my students of second grade high-level readers because this activity is going to require a good amount of reading and the synthesizing and understanding of higher level content and academic vocabulary. So these passages here found in the back of the book all relate to the story's plot and setting, and characters, different marine life as well, are talked about in these from the story itself. The standard that I'm using for this activity is going to use information gained from the illustrations and words in print or digital text to demonstrate understanding of its characters, setting, or plot. That is what students are doing. They're going to be creating their own story, using this story as inspiration, and drawing using illustrations, again, from inspiration from the story, but also with the new words that they have learned, the new vocabulary words that they've learned. Students will be using comprehension skills as well, and collaborating with their group. So some areas that I will be grading students on during this literacy center will be, number one, their participation in the group activity. Number two, the correct use of the vocabulary words within their sentences. Do students understand the meaning of the word? Are they using it in a way that's not just found in the text in their own creative way within the story? And I can individually assess by the sentences that they wrote on their handout. The students will also be assessed on their grammar used within their sentences and the big overall story on the poster board as well. Correct grammar, punctuation, and capitalization, all at a second grade level. And lastly, students will be assessed on the illustrations that they use, not so much the drawing ability that they have, but the use of the word, vivid illustrations, big, bright, beautiful words, illustrations that match the words that they have just learned. So that is what I have planned for my high-level second grade readers.